I cannot.
No, you can. You're good.
Okay, I'm
Come
not
over
on-
here. You're good.
I'm not
right
on-
there.
Oh,
You are good, Pocky. Do not worry. You're
No,
all good.
I'm not.
So guys, hey, come on, scoot in. Welcome. Thank you so much for being on the set here tonight.
Okay, we're
Thanks
gonna put
for
people
having us.
behind.
Yeah.
I'm literally
We're
over my
good.
own-
Don't worry, guys. Come on in. So, how are you guys all doing tonight? Pretty good?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, tell us what you guys do and tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I mean, the Archangel Station
Captain.
is a I'm the commanding officer,
Mhm.
which is the chapter president of the organization. And we just recently moved to Austin, so now we're officially an Austin chapter. That's at sfi.org. So you can come check us out, that's Starfleet. I brought you something too.
Oh, what?
But,
Oh, card. It's
Oh,
card.
a card.
Okay.
We have a business card. Archangel Station. I like this. This is neat. So,
We're a chapter of Starfleet, the International Star Trek Fan Association.
and I hear the International Association is huge worldwide.
We have almost 5,000 members worldwide.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, go ahead and introduce all you guys. So who are you?
I'm Reed Bates. I'm the operations officer aboard the station. And
party planner.
Party planner.
is really my.
You're my kind of
title.
gal. All
Yeah.
right.
This is-
The next.
Mary Webb,
Medical officer.
medical officer.
Lloyd Bates, I'm the chapter president, commanding officer.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Jessica Hinch, Kathy Hinch.
Matthew Hill. I'm the executive officer. I basically do all his dirty work.
I know how that is because we're,
He's
we're
my
with
number
Gavin
one.
and such like that. So, here, let's just scoot in just
Yeah.
a little bit more, guys.
For in the next gen parlance, he would be number one.
So how long has your guys' your fleet have been active? Like how long have you guys been going on?
Starfleet's been around since the mid-'70s. I think '76 when it was really started going, and it started in Lufkin, Texas.
Oh wow.
By a couple
Nice.
guys.
And you guys are now in Austin?
Yeah.
Yes, our chapter's in Austin.
Yeah, we originally, Plankhold was 1999.
1999. Oh wow, that's crazy.
And you guys also, I've seen some of the stuff. Some other chapters do, like they do the rifles, like they do rifle maneuvers and everything. I've seen those, and they're really awesome to watch because they're done by some military guys who like spin them like real rifles, I guess. That's what
We have
they're-
a Marines.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Starfleet Marine Corps,
Yeah.
and we
That's-
do drilling and a lot of honor guard flag holding stuff
That's
and
right.
with the guns. Yes.
So what do you so you know there's a whole bunch of these Star Trek, all different kinds and such like that, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise and everything. What do you guys mostly base your stuff off of?
Well, actually,
Or is it just like an overall
the Archangel
arc?
Station is unique in the fact that the origin story of the station is that it's an asteroid that was originally built out to be a station internally.
Oh wow.
That was of unknown origin, and it was found by the engineers during Captain Pike's era, and then has been slowly migrated. So for the group, we could role play any genre because the station's been there through the whole time.
You guys just won my heart. You LARP. I'm so down to do this.
You
Let's
said
go.
LARP and Jeffrey's eyes just glazed
I'm just-
over.
This is great.
So real fast, what is your guys' favorite shows? What you host?
I like Voyager.
Yes.
Next gen,
I'm a TOS guy.
TOS.
Deep Space Nine.
Thanks.
Next gen.
DS9 in the house.
Yes.
I'm just gonna give a fist bump to my Voyager over here. What? I was kidding. No. So, seeing all those Star Treks and everything else like that, it's huge in science and everything, and the culture and the society and everything has been built from. What do you guys? Do you think that Star Trek has actually influenced a lot of science that's been
Oh,
going on
definitely.
in our everyday culture?
I was just reading the other day they had an X Prize based on a tricorder, that they're building a medical tricorder based off the idea that it should be able to scan a bunch of different stuff in a smaller and compact space. I think they just awarded a prize for the X Prize for that.
Oh
There's
wow.
some doctors that came up with one. The original flip phone was based off of the communicator the Motorola guys that designed it said that. You know,
I remember reading about
uh,
that, and I was like, oh hey, that's kind of
You
neat.
know, there's a lot of stuff that they've done. The iPad from the pads. You know, there's a lot of technology that was presented in sci-fi that in general that's been built out. But Starfleet or Star Trek actually influenced several of those on the way.
If you look at Cisco, he has Google Glass at one point in Deep Space Nine.
He does. I definitely
Yeah.
enjoy it. I can totally see where all the like our devices that we have now every day, and if you go back to like even the original Star Trek, there's some like, wait a minute, that looks just like what?
Yep.
So it's really interesting. I think. Do you guys think like Star Trek actually helped influence a lot of sci-fi that's going out nowadays, or?
Well, it depends on, I was gonna say, sorry.
That's okay.
I was gonna ask, depends on which version of Star Trek, I guess we asked about too. Like, which version do you think Star Trek has the most influence too?
Well, I mean, originally, the original series obviously influenced a lot of things because they
Oh,
were
yeah.
really broaching the genre.
Right.
And they were pushing things out there. And then, of course, Roddenberry, thumbing his nose at the censors the whole time while he was doing the original series and presenting the morality plays that the advertisers didn't realize were going to be on until they were already, finished production, right? So
Exactly.
so there was a lot of that going on, and I kind of, that's why I'm more of a TOS fan, is because of, it was like all those morality plays that he did. The guy that's half black and half white versus the guy who's half white and half black, and just the straight, concepts that he kept presenting, I thought were awesome. And then you look at the Next Generation, and the first 2 seasons were a lot of replaying all the same morality plays over in the new context, right? So it really influenced that as far as the whole Star Trek series, right?
I really like how
Yeah, I know, but
I really like how Star Trek definitely mentions like about quantum physics, temporal anomalies, and everything else like that. Now we see the characters Q and such. Do you think there's more out there besides what we here are on Earth? I mean, there has to be more out there, right? You think Vulcans, aliens, or something like that?
that's kind of a philosophical question that can get you into trouble depending on who you're talking to, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm going to ask that question.
I think
Did we start somewhere else?
I personally think that it's
That-
amazing hubris to think that we are the only intelligence in this entire,
Galaxy
cosmos.
or wherever we are.
Entire cosmos,
Yeah.
I think it's also, you guys look at some of the actors and writers who've come from the series. It's kind of amazing to see how those people work. Like, what was it? Like several actors back in the original Star Trek generation, how now we consider veteran actors, that's where they started. In fact, I'm trying to remember one actor's like, yeah, I got started in Star Trek. This was my line. Watch out! And then I died. And they're like, and now I won an Oscar. It's kind of cool, so. And what do you guys think? The writing, the talent, that's come from Star Trek.
I think
it's
a lot
been
of it's amazing. What's everybody else think?
I think of DS9, Ron Moore.
Yeah.
He went on to do Battlestar Galactica, the newer one. So it's phenomenal writing all across the board. And as you mentioned, actors started with all the way with, excuse me, I'm stumbling over my words here.
You're okay, no worries.
Shatner.
Yeah.
Obviously Shatner and
Joan Collins
Yes.
was
Yeah.
on
Thank you.
the original series. It's just fun to even go back and watch the old episodes and go, oh wow, and they went on to do this.
It's
Yeah.
funny, like the very first Star Trek that ever came out, my mom was like, have you ever seen it? I was like, honestly, no, I've never seen the very first couple of episodes of the original Star Trek, and we went back and watched it, and I was just like, this is pretty badass, this is really great. And then now you watch the Star Treks now, and you're just like, whoa. And then now they just released, I think it was yesterday, Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
The trailer for it,
Yeah, and it's it's a series before the prequel of the new updated Star
New
Trek.
updated series,
Yes.
yeah, but it's in the first officer's perspective. That's science.
Oh, science. Okay, sorry, first officer. I thought it was the science officer. It was like, I remember that they said this was not going to be the captain. Then that was a big deal.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a cool way to do it, right? To approach a new piece of the rebooted
Yeah.
universe, right?
So question: how has, other than being part of this awesome crew, how has Star Trek affected you guys' normal day life or inspired you guys?
Reed and I met and got married.
Yeah, we
because
got
of,
married. Yeah,
Archangel.
because of Star Trek, and my son.
Aw.
My son joined the group because they also role play. They did Dungeons and Dragons, but they also role play Star Trek. And then I was helping with planning chaperoning a thing to NASA down in Houston Space Center, and that's where I met this guy. And they said, "Hey, you like Star Trek more than your son, so why don't you join?" So, and then we got married. So,
Oh, there you
Yay!
go. Now
Star Trek
tell
club.
us, did you have a Star Trek themed wedding?
no.
I'm
But we did go to the Star Trek experience in Vegas because that's where
from
we got
Vegas,
married.
and
yeah.
every chance I got the money, it was like $25, $30 to do it. I went to it because I was like, oh, because there was rumors about, because in Las Vegas everything's always changing, and I wish they didn't get rid of the Star Trek experience because it was such a phenomenon. The way they did it, you got boarded onto the Enterprise, and the Borg attacked the ship, and you were on a shuttle, and all sorts of things were happening. It was probably
even
amazing.
just the presentation when you walked in, you walked through the history of all the different series, right?
Exactly, and then they had the characters that walked around. You're like,
Yeah.
hey,
They had the actors.
Yeah, the Ferengi.
That,
the Ferengi. Oh god,
Yeah.
the guy that worked at the little concession stand. I was like, oh.
What about you? How does it affect you other than being part of this crew?
Just the socialization to hang out with some great people and meet a variety
That's-
of people.
I agree. I definitely like the social everything that can come, the community that can come part of it. It's great. What about you?
Jesse?
Oh, this is the person I'm
Jesse?
trying to point
Yes,
at.
you're good. You're good. You're
Jesse,
good.
yeah.
Well, to follow their suit, I actually met my wife through Starfleet as well, because I was on the Rihanna and she was on the previous previous Archangel, and cross ship hanging socializations and.
So if you want to go meet someone, folks, go to Starfleet.
What we're saying is Star Trek people will hook
SFI.
up.
Don't do match, do sfi.org.
Yes.
There you go.
Start recruiting the old way.
Right? I like that. That's great. What about you, Kathy?
All my best friends are from the USS Rihanna, or from the first ship I was on. I met them when I first moved here. I didn't know anybody, and they've become my best friends.
That's amazing. And these guys' stories are just so great. What about you?
As far as actual Star Trek affecting my daily life, it's really identifying with the characters, looking at Next Generation, looking at Data, how he's evolved not only through the films but through the actual series itself, and how he's become more human in his not only daily life, this emotion chip and so forth, and look at the other characters that grew and identifying with their struggles, and look at my life and realize I'm growing with them and seeing some of the same things and applying their things that they've learned that the writers, well, obviously the writers
Exactly.
have put them through to learn and teach people not only about our society but our own lives.
And that's one thing I like about Star Trek is because it's been a series, it's been going on for ages, and a lot of people can relate to the characters and how the writers write them, and it's great because you see that Janeway, she influences me like so much, and I watched Voyager probably a dozen times now. I'm watching it now. I'm on the 3rd season, so it's like my dad, and now my dad's coming. He's coming to join me in watching Star Trek, and he's wondering, like, why are you so into this? And he's like, oh, okay. He's a huge Enterprise fan, but I'm getting him into more Voyager, so I'm like, yes, come to my side. It's really great. I definitely really enjoy how you can relate to the characters.
I also noticed a lot of stories of younger geeks, and my father's not really a geek. I mean, he construction and stuff. But I remember sitting with my father watching Star Trek because it was on syndication, because it had enough episodes to become syndicated, which is what really, in my opinion, saved the series, was syndication. And yeah, I mean, you guys heard other people say the same thing? Like, my dad or someone relative, not really into it, but they totally love Star Trek, and we watched together wins all the movies.
I go into some of the conventions, you talk to folks, and you hear that a lot more than you would think. That it was we weren't big sci-fi and we didn't really watch a lot of stuff, but that was the family community thing, right? Was to come and sit and watch Star Trek together, kind of thing, right? And you hear that more than you would think, actually.
That's really cool. With all of Star Trek's progression, where do you hope the series goes next? Now that we've got Discovery, I mean, it's gonna be an Access show. Where do you guys hope this series goes? Just as fans, I'm just curious because every fan has their own theory.
I'd like to see them get back to the unknown space, get back to finding new stuff, right, and figuring out
Boldly Go where no one has
new
gone
interactions.
before. Yeah, go back into that.
Go back into that instead. They've dived back into some of the other series. It was a lot more interpersonal. Like DS9 was all on the station, so it was a lot more about the character interaction and all that. And I'd like to see a little more development of the character interaction under the stress of new environments, and see how they work that out into the new rebooted.
Are you hoping they bring the
universe.
Borg into this one?
Not really.
No.
No. Well, there's like no one that's a fan of the Borg. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Borg.
I like the Borg,
What?
But
But
I
yeah.
think that they need to move on to another.
The breed.
I knew
Yeah, a
that.
new antagonist, right?
I would
Yes, and
actually
bad
really
guy.
enjoy that if they bring some kind of new species or a couple more thing, that goes against the Federation and such like that. And I think with the updated Star Trek and everything else like that, they're actually going kind of that route. I mean, we got to see a little bit of the Klingons, and you saw Vulcan and everything else like that. And so I think they're starting to branch out a little bit more. They're doing pieces by pieces. And from what I've been reading since this morning is that people on the forums were saying that they're really actually hoping that they do a little bit more besides what the known and go to more of the unknown and such like that. Go against a nebula or a cloud god or something cute.
Whatever's on top of that asteroid they're trying to meet in the pilot episode, that they were kind of showing off that like casket or whatever that is. It's like, what is that? Why is there a casket in Star Trek?
I think the trailer did a really good job. It was like they didn't give out too much. They gave enough for you to be like, wait, what was that? What was that? What was that? Oh, this is gonna be good.
I wonder if that raising casket is kind of an homage to the going to Stovacor kind of thing.
Ooh, that would be definitely interesting.
So
I'd like
I'm
to see
curious
that.
about that, but I'm just jazzed, that they got a new show altogether, that they're going to continue trying
Yeah, I just don't want
that
it to
CBS
end.
has enough faith in the product to keep putting money into it and to keep trying to keep going. Right?
Exactly, and I think a lot of the Star Trek fans are really going to enjoy this mini series that's going to be coming up soon, and especially with the movies that are coming out every now and then, and now you get to see the prequel of how it all came to be.
I think it does show how much faith they have, though, because this is the flagship they're using to promote their streaming service. That if you want to watch this, you have to buy our streaming service, and this is
Right.
this is definitely going to be the litmus test.
Merchandising.
Merchandising.
They're boldly going with their streaming service.
Exactly. There you go.
Probably going where Netflix has gone before. I one of my last questions for you guys is, what is in your mind the pinup all series? What is your favorite episode of all time? It's like the one you can just sit down and watch.
I like the Year of Hell on Voyager.
Yes.
Janeway.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, Kong. Well, let's say Kong for a minute. I was like, they had Kong on it? What?
It's too hard to.
Okay, we're skipping it.
Yeah, I have
It
too
is a
many
bit of a
favorites.
tricky question.
Yes,
It's hard to
yeah, me
pinpoint
too.
which
Yeah,
one you
it's
want.
like which favorite from which genre,
Yeah.
from which show.
Exactly.
Well, OSD then, because you said you're an original fan.
Oh, the original series? I like the.
Sheila, sorry. I'm hardly dyslexic, so
I
should
can't think.
stop it.
Now I've brain farted, so I can't remember.
It happens.
Yeah.
Move on.
I don't know. I'd have to say a
City on the
favorite
Edge of
would be
well, that's fine, yeah.
one of like the classic, more iconic, like Mirror Mirror or Trouble with Tribbles. Those are
Mirror
kinda
mirrors.
my-
Oh,
Mirror
trouble,
Mirrors.
tribbles.
Yeah, those are
If
like
you got
the-
if you
I was
got
gonna say
tribble,
on the edge of forever as well.
You have trouble.
if you got tribble, you have a lot of trouble coming towards you. Get rid of that thing.
City on the edge of forever.
City on the Edge
There we
forever.
go.
There you go.
DS9 is the third season. I can't remember the name of the episode, sadly, but it's the one where they're stuck in the ore processing center and the entire station goes on lockdown. And
I think it's actually called Lockdown. I think
Is
I
it?
think it's called Lockdown. Yeah, because that was the whole point. It was all, everything was on, like, they couldn't do anything.
Oh, wow.
they
Yeah.
had to get Ducat to basically to come in, override the command codes, and even Ducat was caught. There's backups in case Ducat betrayed
What- yeah.
the Cardassians.
I gotta say mine is I can't remember the end of the episodes, but it's the end of Voyager, where spoiler 3, 2, spoiler 1, where Janeway goes in and she gets the hell with the temporal initiative or whatever. She goes in and she basically changes time and saves Voyager and kills the Borg. Ha! Take that, Gavin.
So mine is also the City of on the. They're actually IDW just released the original script as a comic book, a multi-series
Oh.
comic book, and it's wow. I can see why they edited that one, because like Spock nearly breaks the guy's arm because he shorted him money.
I love
Well,
Spock.
and then,
Yes.
Spock's
if
such
you-
an iconic character too.
I've got the disc series from Harlan Ellison where he goes in and rants about how they destroyed his product from his original writing and how it should have been, and he had a bunch of actors do the reading of the show as he originally wrote it, and it was a lot different. I mean, there was a different antagonist in it. It was another character who was more of a criminal that went through the portal instead
Yeah,
of
he was a drug
toy.
dealer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And there was
Yeah.
a whole lot of stuff that was different. Yeah.
I gotta ask before we go ahead and wrap it up here and get to our 10 things. Do any of you play Star Trek online?
I have a character I haven't played in a long time.
Oh, I play Star Trek Online right now, and they just released a whole lot of new content. So we were talking about going boldly go and get to the unknown. In the game, they've actually released a lot more of the Alpha Quadrant, a little bit of the Beta, and then more of the Delta Quadrant. You get more into the storyline and such, but it's mostly about the Alpha right now. And the amount of villains that they have are going on, and the references to all the Star Treks, it's just brilliantly written. Oh, and by the way, I'm supposed to say, hello, Rogue Squadron. That's my fleet.
I think that
There's a lot of
actually,
kind of humor
We
there.
have some chapters who actually play,
Yeah.
and they meet in
I think
the
there's
game.
one of the
Are you
correspondence.
serious?
One of the correspondence chapters uses the.
I'm gonna hold on to this for
STO.
dear life. You have no
Yeah,
idea.
but I think they use STO to do their meetings, and they're a correspondence chapter, so they're all over the place.
Oh,
But that's where they meet.
amazing. I play a Bajoran. I am a Bajoran, you know, and I work with the Federation and everything else like that.
I'll start
But-
it up.
Oh yeah, I actually am gonna be getting an outfit all made up and such like that. So you guys, when you guys do conventions, you guys all dress up and everything else like that, and you see, do people like go full on
Oh,
spread and
yeah.
everything else like
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Oh, that's so
There's
great.
usually a board, especially in Vegas, at the Vegas convention.
Exactly.
So it's
Vegas
a board.
C plus
before-
Lots of Andorians.
So before we,
God.
real quick before we wrap it up, where can we find you guys and such like that?
Right here.
ArchangelStation.com, and also you can
Yeah.
look up Starfleet
It's,
at sfi.org.
Archangel Station, Arc with a K.
Arc with a K. There we go.
Facebook page?
Well, guys, I think
Not public.
this was
Okay.
awesome. We thank you so much for being on
Ours
here,
is-
guys. You are amazing. You're full of knowledge and everything. The geekery that goes with Star Trek. So, Pocky, I think we're about to go up to our top 10 things. What's it
We have
about?
a top 10 links list. It's going to be hilarious because it's Gavin explaining to us the order of movies we should actually watch.
And I already
Explain
disagree
the
with it.
list to Harley. This is going to be really good, guys. So, thanks again for being on the show. We'll have you come on right before we get off, and here's 10 things.